Part 1. Intermittent Fasting, the ancient code for modern longevity. Imagine your body not as a machine, but as a timeless rhythm. A biological symphony fine-tuned by millions of years of feast and famine. Long before grocery stores and midnight snacks, humans thrived not by constant eating, but by strategic waiting. And this natural rhythm that we now call intermittent fasting, IF, is being rediscovered as one of the most powerful tools for long-term health. So, what exactly is intermittent fasting? At its heart, IF is not a diet, it's a pattern, a return to cycles your body once knew intimately. Periods of nourishment followed by periods of gentle rest and repair. But don't worry, this isn't about starving. This is about timing. It's about timing, it's about giving yourselves the space to breathe, heal, and reset. The 4 core styles of intermittent fasting. 1. Time-restricted feeding, TRF. This is the daily rhythm method. Eat during a set window each day. Popular patterns include 16-8. You fast for 16 hours, mostly overnight, and eat within an 8-hour window. 14-10. A gentler version with a 10-hour eating window. Think of it as no midnight fridge raids, breakfast starts later, dinner ends earlier. 2. The 5-2 method. You eat normally for 5 days of the week, then dramatically reduce your calorie intake, usually around 500 to 600 calories, on 2 non-consecutive days. Perfect for those who hate rigid daily schedules but want to reset weekly. 3. Alternate day fasting, ADF. One day you eat like usual, the next you dial it way down or skip food entirely. Then repeat. It's more intense, yes, but studies show ADF can have dramatic effects on metabolic health and fat loss. 4. One meal a day, OMAD. As bold as it sounds, one meal, usually dinner, in a 1 to 2 hour window. You fast the rest of the day. Not for everyone. But for some, it creates mental clarity, appetite control, and simplicity like nothing else. Each of these methods isn't about punishment. They're about recalibration, a chance to align your eating with your body's natural intelligence. And no, it's not just trendy Silicon Valley biohackers doing it. Your great-grandparents likely practiced a version of this too, whether they called it fasting or just going without. Because at the root of it, intermittent fasting isn't a modern invention. It's a return to how we were meant to live. And science is finally catching up to what tradition always knew. Sometimes the most powerful healing comes not from what we add, but from what we pause. Part 2. How fasting talks to your cells and extends your life. If food is information, then fasting is a reset button. And when you give your body time without food, not starving, just pausing, you unlock some of the most ancient, sophisticated mechanisms of cellular healing and longevity. These aren't theories from wellness influencers. These are deeply rooted in molecular biology. Here's how. 2.1. It tunes your nutrient sensing switches. Deep inside your cells are biological sensors. They're like traffic lights, controlling whether your body stores, repairs, or regenerates. The key players? Insulin, IGF-1. High levels promote growth, but too much for too long accelerates aging and cancer risk. mTOR. Think of this as your growth mode. Fasting temporarily lowers mTOR, allowing repair instead of growth. AMPK and sirtuins. These get switched on during fasting. They clean up damage, improve energy efficiency, and are linked with longer lifespans in nearly every species studied. So, what's the point? Fasting tells your body, let's clean house and live longer. 2.2. It activates autophagy, your cell's janitor system. Autophagy literally means self-eating. But don't be alarmed, it's not scary, it's brilliant. When you fast, your body begins recycling old, damaged proteins and broken mitochondria, cleaning out cellular garbage that would otherwise build up and cause disease. This is especially crucial for brain cells. Hello, cognitive clarity. Liver and pancreas cells, goodbye insulin resistance. Skin cells, yes, even anti-aging on the outside. Think of it as your cells calling in the cleaning crew. No fasting, no cleanup. 2.3. It revives your stem cells. Some of the most groundbreaking research, like the MIT studies, shows that fasting triggers regeneration in stem cells, especially in the gut. After refeeding, these stem cells kick into gear, repairing the digestive tract and possibly other tissues. This matters more than ever as we age because our natural regeneration slows down. Fasting may give it a helpful nudge. Caution: some lab models raise questions about overactivation and cancer risk, but in real humans, moderate fasting appears overwhelmingly protective. 1.6. It builds metabolic resilience. Here's the truth: you can't age well if your metabolism is broken. Intermittent fasting strengthens metabolic function in 5 huge ways. Increases insulin sensitivity, lowers blood pressure, reduces LDL cholesterol, cuts inflammation, decreases oxidative stress. Every one of these factors is tied to chronic disease and to accelerated aging. 2.5. It realigns you with nature's clock. Humans are circadian creatures. Our bodies run on light and dark. But late-night eating and erratic meals, they throw off your biological rhythm. Fasting, especially when aligned with daylight hours, helps resync your internal clock. That means better sleep, hormone balance, energy regulation, cell repair at night. In short, fasting resets your biological calendar. Brain. Your brain is one of fasting's biggest fans. When you fast, your brain increases levels of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, a compound that boosts memory, learning, and resistance to neurological decline. It also stimulates neurogenesis, the birth of new neurons, and enhances autophagy in the brain, helping prevent Alzheimer's and cognitive fog. And yes, many fasters report sharper thinking, better focus, and emotional calm. That's not magic, that's biochemistry doing its job. Part 3. Longevity proof across species. Now, if all that sounds good in theory, what about the hard proof? Here's a quick look at how fasting affects lifespan in research models. Species 2.1. Fasting style 2.3. Longevity effects. Yeast, worms, flies. Time-restricted feeding, lifespan up 13 to 18%. Mice, ADF, TRF, median and maximum lifespan extended. Monkeys, CR, caloric restriction, reduced disease, fasting still studied. Humans, observational, clinical, lower mortality, and better biomarkers. In one large American study of over 2,000 older adults, those who practiced fasting long-term had a 49% lower risk of death than those who didn't. Now, let's be... Part 4. The real benefits, why fasting matters where it counts. Let's get one thing clear. Fasting is not just about skipping meals. It's about giving your body the time and space it needs to heal, restore, and thrive. And when you do that consistently, even a few days a week, the ripple effects touch every system in your body. A. Your metabolism and heart, rewired for strength. If your metabolism is sluggish, your heart is stressed, period. But here's the good news. Insulin sensitivity improves, meaning your body becomes better at handling sugar, less storage, more energy. Blood pressure lowers steadily over weeks. LDL cholesterol and triglycerides drop, especially with time-restricted eating, like 16-8. C-reactive protein, a marker of inflammation tied to heart attacks, goes down. It's like your cardiovascular system is breathing easier, one fast at a time. B. Your brain, sharper, calmer, and more resilient. Fasting doesn't just help your waistline, it clears the mental fog too. Autophagy and brain cells kicks in, cleaning out damaged proteins linked to Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. It raises BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which supports memory, learning, and emotional balance. Many older adults report a lifted mood, fewer mood swings, and improved focus. One patient told me, "It's like my mind finally stopped running on fumes." C. Your weight. Loss that feels natural, not forced. We're not talking crash diets or calorie counting. Intermittent fasting leads to gradual fat loss, especially the deep visceral fat around your organs, the dangerous kind that increases inflammation and diabetes risk. Better still, you keep lean muscle mass, especially if you include light resistance training and enough protein during your eating window. Appetite-regulating hormones, ghrelin and leptin, start behaving normally again. You feel hunger when you need food, not when you're bored. Fire. D. Inflammation and aging. You turn the clock down. Here's what most people don't realize. Chronic inflammation is like rust on a car. It quietly damages everything over time. But fasting helps. Lower oxidative stress. Preserve telomeres, the little caps on your DNA that protect it from aging. Support autophagic repair, giving your cells the ability to clean up and rebuild. Is it anti-aging? Not in the Hollywood sense, but in the real cellular way that matters, yes. B. Disease prevention, blocking the big four. If you could lower your risk of the top chronic diseases with one simple strategy, wouldn't you at least try it? Fasting helps reduce your risk for type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's, and even some forms of cancer, especially when combined with an anti-inflammatory diet. One review in the New England Journal of Medicine called it a promising intervention for disease delay and health span extension. Translation: you live longer and better. Navigate. Part 5. Which fasting style fits you best? There's no one-size-fits-all here. Your age, energy levels, health goals, and even your social life matter. Let's break it down. Reset. Time-restricted feeding, 14-10 or 16-8. Best for beginners and long-term sustainability. Eat during a consistent 8 to 10 hour window, fast the rest. Helps with weight, energy, and inflammation. Minimal disruption to daily life. I skip breakfast, eat lunch and dinner. Done. Downrod, 5-2 method. Eat normally 5 days, limit to 500 to 600 calories, 2 days. Easier for people who want flexibility. Evidence shows solid results in weight and blood sugar control, might be harder to stick with during social weeks. Reprimand, alternate day fasting, ADF. 1 day eat, 1 day minimal calories or none. Strongest data for waist circumference reduction, best for those needing more aggressive results, but may cause fatigue or irritability at first. Single, OMAD, 1 meal a day. Eat once, fast 23 hours. Effective for weight loss, can be tough on energy, digestion, and social life. Best as a short-term reset, not a lifelong habit. Fire, what the data says. ADF, best for shrinking waistlines. 5-2, best for lowering DMI. TRF, like 16-8, comparable long-term benefits with better sustainability. 6. Putting intermittent fasting into daily life. A doctor's guide. You've read the science. You've seen the promise. Now let's talk real life. Because knowing something is good for you means nothing unless you can actually stick with it. Especially if you're over 60, dealing with energy dips, medication schedules, or a long history of diet fatigue. So here's how I recommend my patients ease into IF, gently, wisely, and sustainably. 1. Start where you are, not where Instagram is. Please don't jump straight into a 20-hour fast. That's like running a marathon with no training. Begin with a 12-12 window. For example, breakfast at 7 a.m., dinner by 7 p.m. After a week or two, shift to 14-10, like 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. If it feels right, try 16-8, but only when your body is ready. This slow ramp-up allows your hunger hormones, ghrelin and leptin, to rewire gently. 2. What you eat still matters a lot. Intermittent fasting is not permission to eat garbage during your eating window. Prioritize clean proteins, eggs, fish, legumes, healthy fats, avocado, olive oil, and fiber-rich carbs, vegetables, lentils, sweet potatoes. Aim for micronutrient density, not just calories. Avoid ultra-processed junk. IF amplifies whatever signals you're giving your body, good or bad. Remember, your cells are listening to what you feed them, not just when. 3. Stay hydrated like it's your job. This one's non-negotiable. Drink plenty of water, herbal teas, or black coffee during your fasting hours. Avoid sugary drinks, even juice. It breaks your fast. Hydration supports autophagy, reduces hunger pangs, and keeps your kidneys happy. My tip? Start every morning with a tall glass of water and a pinch of sea salt. Your mitochondria will thank you. 4. Sleep and movement, the forgotten IF multipliers. IF is only as effective as the body it supports. 7 to 8 hours of deep sleep is essential. That's when hormone repair happens. Light daily movement, walking, tai chi, stretching, keeps your metabolism responsive. Even better, walk after meals. It improves insulin response and helps digestion. 5. Train your muscles, protect your years. Muscle is your anti-aging currency. Lose it and everything else suffers. Include resistance training 2 to 3 times a week, light weights, body weight, resistance bands. Combine with adequate protein intake during your eating window, roughly 1.2 to 1.5 grams per kilogram for older adults. This helps you burn fat without burning muscle, the holy grail of healthy aging. 6. Advanced users, try fasting cycles wisely. If you've built up consistency and tolerance, consider adding a 24-hour fast once every 10 to 14 days, or a 36 to 72-hour fast once a quarter, with professional oversight. These longer fasts activate deeper autophagy and stem cell rejuvenation, but come with greater risk, so tread carefully. Always break long fasts with easy-to-digest, nutrient-dense meals, bone broth, lightly cooked vegetables, soft proteins. Warning: 7. Who should be careful and why it's okay to go slow. Now, listen carefully. Fasting is powerful, but it's not for everyone, not in every form. Here's who should proceed with caution. 1. Older adults at risk of malnutrition. If you're over 65 and already dealing with low appetite, weight loss, or muscle wasting, aggressive fasting may worsen it. Solution? Focus on a gentle 12-12 or 14-10 pattern and ensure every meal is rich in nutrients and protein. The goal is maintenance, not depletion. 2. People on medications, especially for diabetes or blood pressure. Fasting alters blood sugar and blood pressure, which may interact with medications. Always consult your doctor before starting. You may need dosage adjustments or different timing. 3. History of eating disorders, chronic fatigue, or depression. Fasting can trigger restrictive mindsets or worsen mood issues in vulnerable individuals. Approach with extreme care. Psychological stability comes before metabolic benefit. 4. Caution: stem cell overactivation? Some animal studies suggest that intense cycles of fasting and refeeding might overstimulate stem cells, including mutated ones. We don't fully understand the long-term human impact yet, so A. Avoid extreme refeeding binges, eat moderately, and stay balanced. Light. Final thought. It's not about being perfect. It's about being intentional. You don't have to fast for 20 hours a day. You don't need to live like a monk. You just need to listen to your body, respect its signals, and use fasting like a tool, not a punishment. Start slow, stay consistent, track how you feel. Day 8. A longevity-driven IF routine that works in real life. Let's paint the picture of a gentle, powerful rhythm, one that respects both your biology and your desire to live well into your golden years. Morning, 6 to 8 a.m. Wake gently, no rushing. Sip on a glass of water, maybe with a pinch of sea salt or a squeeze of lemon. Brew a cup of black coffee or herbal tea. No creamers, no sweeteners, just clarity. Get moving, not for punishment, but for vitality. A 20-minute walk under soft morning light or slow mindful yoga. Think longevity, not intensity. Plate: Eating window, 12 to 8 p.m. This is your nourishment window, not just for calories, but for cellular renewal. Lunch, 12 to 1 p.m. Start with a bowl of dark leafy greens, a fillet of wild salmon, a drizzle of olive oil, maybe some lentils or chickpeas. Afternoon snack, 3 to 4 p.m. A handful of raw nuts, some berries, and a cup of green tea. Antioxidants in action. Dinner, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Steamed vegetables, lean protein like turkey or tempeh, a side of avocado. Think color, think fiber. Finish with gratitude. Moon, fasting window, 8 p.m. to 12 p.m. the next day. This is where the magic happens. Your body shifts into repair mode. Drink herbal tea or water. Avoid late-night snacking. Trust your body's rhythm. Let sleep deepen. Optionally, once a month, consider a 24-hour fast, but only if you're ready. This is a tool, not a requirement. Exercise plan, 3 times per week. Alternate resistance training with brisk walks or low-impact HIIT, not to burn calories, but to signal your cells, stay young, stay strong. Point 9. Real-world wisdom for a long life. Track your real markers. Not weight or looks, but energy, focus, sleep quality, and your blood work. Respect your inner clock. Try to stop eating by sunset. Give your digestive system time to rest before bed. Don't obsess. Social meals matter. Connection heals more than kale. Flexibility is not failure. Longevity doesn't just living long. It means thriving in your 80s and 90s, walking on your own, laughing fully, remembering clearly. Park 10. Why it works. Science in simple terms. Benefit, mechanism at work. Metabolic balance. Stabilizes insulin, reduces inflammation. Cellular cleanup. Triggers autophagy, reduces oxidative stress. Sharper brain. Boosts BDNF, supports memory and mood. Disease prevention. Lowers risk of diabetes, heart disease, even cancer. Aging slowdown. Protects stem cells, aligns with circadian biology. Final word. Aging is inevitable. Decline is not. If there's one truth I've come to believe after 30 years in medicine, it's this. Aging is not the enemy. Neglect is. And when it comes to intermittent fasting, IF, we're not chasing youth, we're protecting function, preserving clarity, defending dignity. Too many people think of IF as some trendy Silicon Valley hack or a harsh discipline reserved for monks and biohackers. But here's what I've seen in real life, in real patients, in real results. When practiced wisely, IF is one of the most gentle, respectful, and effective tools we have for aging well. You see, fasting isn't starvation, it's restoration. It's giving your body space to do what it was designed to do, heal, repair, recalibrate. It's stepping back so your inner systems can clean house. It's not a punishment, it's a gift. When paired with wholesome foods, natural movement, restful sleep, and a mindset of balance, not obsession, IF becomes more than a protocol. It becomes a lifestyle, a rhythm, a reclaiming of control. Yes, the science backs it. Studies from Valter Longo, Sachin Panda, and many others have shown that fasting boosts autophagy, supports brain health, lowers insulin, reduces inflammation, protects against cancer and cardiovascular disease. The data is clear. But beyond the data, there's the lived experience of my 71-year-old patient who regained his energy after decades of fatigue, of the retired teacher who lost weight, normalized her blood pressure, and felt hope for the first time in years, of the widowed man who finally slept through the night, stopped taking 5 different pills, and told me, "Doc, I finally feel like myself again." That's what IF gives us when it's done right. Not perfection, but progress. So here's what I leave you with. Don't chase the impossible dream of never aging. Chase quality, clarity, movement, meaning. Use fasting not to shrink yourself, but to expand your capacity for health and presence. Eat real food, sit in sunlight, move often, Love more. Your later years aren't the end of the story. They're the chapter where you finally write with wisdom, courage, and freedom. And IF? It might just be the punctuation mark that gives your story its strength. Stay curious, stay consistent, and stay kind to your body, to your journey, and to this one beautiful life.